You tired of spending Memorial Weekend in Miami or Vegas?
We'll join Cam and Rome's thrill in Brazil.
We talking sun, sand, and samba.
Come light skin like Barack, leave tan like Michelle Obama.
We big stepping up the Celeron stairs, getting blessed of the Christ Redeemer.
Cool off at Ipanema Beach, cause it's hot like a fever.
We'll be eating good, cause the food will be plentiful.
We'll be touching down at Ilha Grande, cause you know it's
beautiful. We'll be selling, volleyballing, and dancing.
Going out, beautiful ladies, and romancing. Come on, man. We'll be doing all that and so much more.
Like our trips this year and our trips before.
But that's neither here nor there. So book your spot now and catch a fare.
So don't miss out like this year and make yourself a vow
that you'll pull that trigger, because tickets are available now.
Alright, y'all, we tired.
Hit that link in the bio.
Why our hips still moving?
I don't know.
Stop them.
No.
Alright.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name is, to the Dormtainment audience, Gomez, aka the Black Amigo, aka the Margarita Messiah. And this is entitled, How God Kept Me From Hell, No Hands. So you know how like they always say once you heal from something, God will spin the block back on you to see if you learn the lesson the second time? I'm gonna tell you a little story. So when I was on tour with T-Pain back in summer 2022, we had a stop in Vegas, and it was my boy Jet. Jet is actually Rotimi's videographer, good homie of mine. He did a lot of my editing work, especially from the tour or whatnot. And Jet, it was his birthday that weekend when we was doing our little tour stop for Pain on the weekend. I think it was like during the Love for Some Friends concert and whatnot. And we decided to go out one night, you know, from him being from hometown, we all at the same place, you know, and I was like, yeah, sure, let's go out, you know, drinks on me, man, let's go ahead and celebrate, especially since he made a lot of my visuals and did a lot of work for Black Amigo or whatever. And so we go out one night and we hit Daylight, what was it? The Light nightclub, the little beach club at the Light. Mm-hmm. So we go out there and we hit the bar, and when we're at the bar or whatnot, I will go ahead and get one first round of shots. And then we see these two ladies over there. Dude's an Asian man, and he has let's just say he likes chocolate. Let's just put it that way.
Did you say chocolate? Chocolate! Chocolate!
So my man was like looking at these two chicks at the bar, and one of them, we both noticed, was like hella thick or whatever. And I was just like, oh yeah, she cute too. She about a nice little 5'2", you know what I'm saying? Nice little brown eyes, looking good. So we basically was like, all right, let's go slide over here real quick. And I'm gonna go ahead and buy a round on us or whatever too. So we slide over, we go ahead and meet the chicks or whatever. One of the chicks' name was Tasha. I forgot who the other chick name, but Tasha was the one to keep mind of. So we're sitting there chopping, you know what I'm saying, flirting a bit, buying a round of drinks or whatnot. And like I said, shorty, when I looked at her, was like, bam, had like the fattest ass.
Hello, fat ass!
And we were sitting there, you know, chopping it up, flirting a little bit more, whatever. So me and him decided to go ahead and say like, hey, look, all right, you go probably go for this chick, I'm gonna go for the other chick. I'm like, all right, cool, bet. We already had a little game plan, we looking at each other. And the chick that I actually hollered at real quick, I didn't only got like one little side, like this angle, like from like right here, this peripheral, like if you look like her left side like this, that's all I seen. But when she turned back towards me, you know, from the front angle, because again, I just saw like the side and the ass, when she turned around or whatever, and I actually was trying to like, you know, reach for her and say, hey, let's dance. I realized when she turned around, she ain't had no arm right here. And I was like, oh shit, but she was fine as fuck though. So I was like, okay, well, you know, shit, it's all good. Like, what's up? So, you know, I'm thinking like everybody put one, you know, a shot in their hand, and she can't, so it's the left hand. So it's a little kind of tight and awkward in the space. And I was just, but I mean, I was like, okay, it's all good. Like, it makes it a little more unique, you know? So I was like, okay, cool, yo. So she was like, okay, cool. You know, we dancing a little bit here and there. And then like she was like, oh, I'm about to go to the bathroom and come back. And so I talked to my boy Jet. He was just like, I know. And I was like, yeah, cool, bet. And she was cool as fuck. And like hella sweet, hella dope, smell good. Like I said, ass was banging, body banging, you know, definitely good conversation and whatnot. And then like, it was cool. It was kind of weird, not really weird, but it was cool, but it was weird. but it was cool if that makes sense. Cause like when she came back out, you know, she was like, "Oh, okay, let me get your number, whatever. We're about to go ahead and dip. Let's try to see if we can link up later." And she basically went to go give me like a hug. And then when she did, like I could kind of feel the nub kind of like squeeze and hug me a little bit. Like you could kind of feel a pinch, like right here a little bit. But I felt so good because I know I felt like that soul like wrap around. Like I felt it like really, you know, get in there. I really felt like, yo, she really meant that to like, you know, really, you know, get in versus just like church hug. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I got to see it from the back from the hug too, like this. So it was cool. And I really was like, when I left, I remember later at the end of the tour, I went and was telling the story. I didn't really think nothing of it, really. I just thought it was like, okay, cool, you know, she got one arm, she's super bad, cool, you know, like it is what it is. But my homie was bringing up the story back about a month later when we ended the tour at a retreat in Arizona. And because he happened to meet me up at in Milwaukee for Wisconsin Fest. And when we go to explain, like, you know, a lot of shit, they would ask me questions about, you know, what was tour life about, tour stories and everything. Jet would happen to be there. And when he was there, he happened to bring it up and was just like, yo, my birthday was wild, man. You should have seen like Black Amigo with this chick or whatever, man. Like, yo, it was crazy. Why don't you tell him the story? And I just told him like, yeah, so we met this shorty and she had no arm, but she had a fat ass and she was super fine as fuck. And then people was looking at me like, what? And I couldn't really, you know how sometimes you telling the story, you try to have people like really like let it like sink in the idea of what I was looking at. And I was just like, you know what she looked like? She looked like the Winter Soldier. And I don't know why everybody thought it was. She did. If the Winter Soldier was like came out of King of Diamonds, absolutely. That's exactly what she looked like. Fat ass, but you know, that one arm. And I just didn't really think nothing about it. Like I just said it like so casual. I was like, it's kind of like the Winter Soldier. And everybody just busts out laughing. And I was just like, did I say something like kind of funny? Did I say something wrong? And then it was just like, no, that's just hilarious that you would even like liken it to us. So now every time I see the Winter Soldier, they think about this chick named Tasha. And I was like, damn. It was funny, but it was kind of fucked up. So I was like, okay, at least I like caught myself before I told everybody the story. And the reason I said God kept me from hell was because I would never make people light of people's handicap. But I also felt like God wasn't done with me just yet. When I was back in Atlanta, like a few months later, I was at this spot at this bar working, and they had me, it was kind of like I would say like a college frat bar. Mm-hmm. And let's just say a lot of the people in there were kind of like overprivileged college students, just put it that way. And also it's a Bama bar, and y'all know how I feel about that. War Eagle, leave it at that. But in the bar, this one girl is incessant about trying to say she wants to hear no hands. And I literally told her, as soon as someone comes up to me, a DJ, what they want to hear, I'm like, okay, cool, great. If you're going to demand me, you're going to tip me. So because of the aggression of the tip, that's where I base my tip is normally in that situation. So I said, okay, cool. You want to hear it right here, right now. You're going to give me like $50 because I'll just interrupt this whole set. Like everybody else is dancing but you the one complaining, talking about you want to hear what you want to hear right now. Okay, cool. Pay for it then. Tip me $50. I'll throw it right now. Matter of fact, I'll throw it 3 times. Mm-hmm. So she says, okay, I want to hear no hands. I said, okay, I need $50. She was like, what? Are you kidding me? No. Play that right now or I'm going to leave. And I was like, if someone tells me that they want to hear something right now or they're going to leave, then I'm absolutely going to hold it hostage for probably double what I quoted you the first time. So now it's 100. Mm-hmm. So I said, okay. She want to hear no hands. I was like, nah, I'm not going to play that yet until you pay up. Now I'm keeping a watch on this girl who's complaining about it because as she's telling me this, I'm thinking like, you don't put a value on something. I can make some money off of it. Why would I play it? I'm going to wait till you leave before I consider just letting it pre-rate again. So I'm watching her. By the way, that's a tip for anybody else. If you ever want to know, DJ as well. I was like, yeah, if somebody asks for it, then there's value in it. Know your worth, kings. But she's asking for it. I see her actually like keep her word. She get all pissed off. She slams a PBR and gets the hell out of Dodge. Like somebody just killed her cat or some shit. And I was like, all right, cool. So now I'm thinking like, okay, I'm about to throw this no hands on just because I was being petty at that night. You know what I'm saying? But what happened was before I started playing it, I actually started looking up to kind of look at the room for a second. And right before I started playing it, I just actually looked up and seen this. Shorty ain't had no hands.
No, you lying.
There was a shorty that didn't have no motherfucking hands. I looked up.
Asked you that.
Run it back again. Shorty ain't have no goddamn hands. So, Shorty ain't have no hands. At that moment, I knew God was talking to me just to see where my spiritual, just to see where I was at spiritually, because a part of me wanted to play it to see if I could like really have her turn up. But then a part was like, do I not play it because that might be rude or insensitive? Or do you just let it go because she's one of us too? Even though, you know, clearly like. And all I'm going to say is this. What I learned in that moment is that read the room or you might go to hell.
All right. Well, my one question I got, the girl with no arm, do you think she wear Arm & Hammer deodorant? All right.